first. That was an big stick.
Tough game. It was a exciting second half, I'm sure, but credit Eastern Kentucky. I thought they came in very detail oriented, focused, and Coach Neubauer and his guys did a great job. And we weren't, credit them. We weren't very good at times in the first half, but EKU had a lot to do with it. You have to be, when you play them in Belmont, you have to be very, very efficient, very detailed, and we weren't. And I need to do a better job on the defensive end with our guys. We weren't great defensively the last 2 weeks. It cost us a regular season championship, and it cost us an opportunity to play for a conference tournament championship. So, but we put ourselves in position late, no timeouts. We executed some things late. Proud of them for that, but we weren't we weren't good enough today. In Eastern Kentucky, you can't beat them. Belmont, you better be detail oriented, or they will chop you up.
Steve, did they show you a different look in terms of getting as many 2-point baskets in the first half? Did they do anything different?
No, just same old same. Back cut you from the wing, cut over the top of the high post. We were hugging the high post. We're not supposed to hug the high post. We're supposed to be sitting in the paint, taking away all the back cuts. We're not denying the ball out on the wing against them like we normally do. We're chasing into our man so they can't get back cut. And we just weren't locked into that early. We gave, you can't play a championship level game and shoot 60% from the field. We did a better job in the second half, but they still shot 52%. So, they didn't give us any new looks. I mean, you've seen them play enough throughout the year. You know what they're going to do, but you have to be detail-oriented. You got to bluff in the gap. But they had some guys like Marcus Lewis, 2 for 4 from the 3. I thought he stepped up, made some big plays. I thought Orlando Williams, again 2 nights in a row, I thought he stepped up and made some big plays. So they had some guys step up, make some big plays that aren't their main guys, Cozy, Walden, the couple of the main guys.
I feel like you guys got a little too reliant on the 3 in the last 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, the 3s are great, but we were in the double bonus, and we were in the bonus really early, and we really tried to keep emphasizing we don't need the home run. I knew really thought we'd get right back in the game, and we made a quick spurt early. They hit us again, but I thought late we had opportunities to get paint touches, and the whistles were blowing. I mean, it was foul on both ends. So we really needed to put more pressure on the basket, and we didn't. We were 9 for 28 from the 3, and percentage-wise, that's 32%. We usually a little bit better now. We're usually close to 40. We shot free throws well tonight. That gave us an opportunity. But we just weren't good enough defensively. But we needed to put a lot more pressure on the basket.
Did foul trouble, especially in the first half, sort of hurt your aggressiveness?
Yeah, it's just we're not very deep. I mean, if you've seen us play, and that's one thing we need to address, in the off season. So where we really basically have 1 point guard. Started the year with 3, finished the year with 1. So when Cam's not on the floor, it just changes the presence of our team. And he got in some foul trouble, and I think Jarvis, got in some foul trouble, so we had to play those guys with 3. But foul trouble, being detailed and be really locked in on the defensive end, and probably needed to switch some ball screens to do some things differently. And I didn't make the adjustments in the first half.
Cameron's had a tough week. Free throws to SEMO, and then there's some shot tonight. What? Kevin?
I'll talk to him later. I'm most proud of Jonathan Farrell down 3. I mean, we have a chance. Sapp pulls up and he's trying to make the home run play, instead of cutting it to 1 with 20 seconds to go. But we executed the last play. Moss probably could have taken off the first ball screen. We were running the old Kansas Bill Self handoff ball screen play that a lot of people run. But Farrell, I was proud of his presence of mind to just kick it back out. And Cam got a great look, and he didn't make it. But that definitely didn't cost us the game. But you're right. That's the one thing I thought about right when he shot it. I needed to go shake Coach Neubauer's hand, but I felt bad for him because it's been a tough week. But he's sometimes you have to go through some things to get special things, and hopefully it's a process for him because he's a special player.
Jarvis, how tough is this loss for you guys?
I mean, it's very tough. Knowing that we're losing one of our best friends, player, Dexter Fields. That's the most hurtful thing for me. I wanted to do this for him, more than anything, and this is not a good fit.
Steve, were you anticipating some of the backdoor cuts that they did? I think I counted 4 or 5 times where they just slipped through on the backside.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they play. But when we play teams like that, we don't care if they catch it. Most teams, we try to really pressure and deny and push their offense out further. With Eastern Kentucky, we're okay with them catching it on the wing and then defending them. So we don't want to over pursue. We just say chase under your man. You always want to be underneath your man against Eastern Kentucky in everything you do. And when I go watch the tape, I'm sure there's a bunch of times when they back cut that we're in gaps and we didn't need to be.
When you look at this season as a whole, and so everything you guys went through, especially in October and November, I guess just thoughts on where you guys. I know you're disappointed tonight, but proud of this team right now.
Well, yeah, I told them in there I was disappointed and frustrated in there, and I think they know how I feel, and everybody says, yeah, we maxed out and we did some great things. But I think what I'm glad to hear Jarvis say that is I think we're teaching the right things and our principals are about the right thing when his first thought process is how Dexter Fields thinks. So I think we're doing the right things. So I'm proud of them for that and for what he said right there. That speaks about what we want our culture to be. And I told them we got a lot of guys back, and this should bother them. It should really eat at them because we weren't our best tonight, and Eastern Kentucky had to do with that. I don't want to take anything away from that. They were very, very good, and they beat us. They whipped us tonight. But this team, we don't get the national attention. Our league doesn't. Like if you're North Carolina, they're going to know that you're playing with 7 scholarship players in the fall. But then you finish the year winning 16 out of 20 or 16 out of 21, So I'm proud of the guys for persevering because if they didn't have good character and toughness, we could have folded when we went through a week or two where we were just getting embarrassed.
Any thoughts on tomorrow's championship game between Eastern and Belmont?
It'll be a good game. Eastern Kentucky, this year paralleled a little bit from last year in the standpoint. What I mean, when we beat them at their place, we almost beat them on the identical score. I think it was 1 point off. We beat them 13. They beat us at our place 12. We were the hype team last year. They were the hype team this year. And then we ended up flip-flopping. They beat us here last year. We beat them last year. They beat us here. But to say that, if I had to bet, I'd probably take, Belmont. But Eastern, they're shooting the basketball very, very well. I know they're 6 for 29, but they've got Cozy. You could see his leadership out there. He was willing his guys. They drive you so much, and with the rule changes, you're almost in a pickle. And I'll look and see, but you almost. And that's why we got to get better from a standpoint as we grow in the future, changing defenses some maybe. But I think you got to be able to defend man and defend the dribble. But we didn't do it. But if I had to pick, I'd take Belmont. But I don't want to make Eastern Kentucky mad. But but if it's going to be a very, very good game. But Belmont's playing really well down the stretch. But I think Eastern is too. But it could go either way. Eastern could easily win. They beat them at their place double figures. And then Belmont beat them at their place double figures. So.
Any more questions?